Hello, 9BQ. I love the nines. I'm actually a nine myself in a different way. Talk about that another time, but the nines are always to the nines. That's what I always say. You've heard that expression before, right? To the nines? Well, a 9VQ is always to the nines. They always want to take it to an extreme, take it maybe one step farther than you would have planned on. They often are impulsive and act out quickly. And the 9VQs, I always say, are the ones that have to usually grab the person and say, hey, I'm into you. They almost always have to make the first move. In fact, 9VQ is almost contrary to what Venus is, right? Venus is all about allowing things to flow smoothly and allowing the coming and going of energy. But 9VQs kind of pop that question. And in light casting and manifestation, 9 is the ninth step. So we don't really actually act or jump into bed or get into a relationship until the ninth step. And we'll go over the steps in another video. So the 9VQs are usually very sexy, very aggressive, usually beautiful. 9VQs often can manifest beauty by the nature of the nines and by the nature of usually them getting what they want. They're aggressive and chase after what they want. And they're kind of hit or miss. 9VQs definitely have a hero complex, and that's their maturity mark. 9VQs want to be the hero, and they want that really dramatic Romeo and Juliet kind of love story. They love the intensity of the passion. They're incredibly passionate lovers, the 9VQs. And so as a result, they tend to go after damsels in distress or dudes in distress, depending on your gender or whatever you're going after, because it can go any way. Everyone has a Venus, everyone has a Mars. So the 9VQ's maturity mark is that they have to be their own hero. They have to be in charge of their own life. They have to be on their own hero's quest. And that has to be in place for a 9VQ before they find true love. Because if they're not fulfilled in their own hero quest or know what it is, if they're not their own hero, if they're not complete, then a 9 will complete you so fast, you can't even think about it. A 9VQ will get pregnant or get someone pregnant so quickly, it's not even funny. It's a very aggressive energy that gets itself locked into a situation. And usually, because it has Mexican jumping beans kind of energy, can jump into the wrong situation and then regret it later. So 9VQs have got to learn to take a moment to reflect before they jump. What does a 9VQ chase after? Anything. That's about the answer. Anything hot, anything passionate. But you know, it depends on what the 9VQ is after. We're going to talk about this in a different video about compatibility, but the 9VQs are one of these that will mix with just about anything. They bring so much to the table, so much energy, nine pulses there, 9 beats, basically. So they tend to be after usually energies they want to complete, but I don't think that that's the right thing. I think before you are mature, a 9 is going after something where it's going to borrow half of itself and give it to the other person. But I think once a 9VQ is mature, a 9 sees itself as adding to the other person and never having to fill them to begin with. So you have much more in the end. So they chase after anything sexy and hot. The 9's focus is action, activity, experience. The 9 wants to experience and drive it to the metal. Pedal to the metal is what the 9s focus on. The emotional personality of a 9VQ is aggressive, impulsive, unpredictable, fiery, expressive, very colorful. A 9VQ is just very fiery. And a 9VQ in some regards is masculine and considered very red. So 9VQ is very red, emotional personality. Very hot and cold. And I would say that a 9VQ's emotions will be angry for a big burst, and then it will calm down. A 9VQ will calm down after the volcanic burst. So that's the emotions of a 9VQ. As far as defensiveness of a 9VQ, I would describe them as overly defensive. I would describe 9VQ as overly defensive of themselves and overly defensive of their lovers. They overly defend them. Maybe they're a little bit too predator sometimes, the 9VQs. 9VQs can definitely stalk or be stalked, depending on what side of the coin of the stalker you are. They say a robber is the same as a cop, right? So one who stalks is the same as the one who gets stalked. It's the same energy. It has to do with chasing after with that 9 energy before you have completed yourself ahead of time. So when you haven't reached your maturity mark, then you tend to chase in your love, and you are overly predatory, overly defensive, overly aggressive, I would say. So the 9VQs are definitely learning to be patient and tolerant with themselves. The likeliness to commit for a 9VQ is based on the moment. A 9VQ will commit, then regret it and want to uncommit. A 9VQ is too quick to commit, too quick to get out of a commitment. I would say 9VQ really is all about the beginning and not the conclusion. So as far as reliability is concerned, 9VQ is smoke them while you got them, because they may be gone. They may all disappear in a cloud of smoke in a moment, and you have to say it was great while it lasted. And it was, because the 9VQ wanted the passion, the fire, and they burn hot and they burn out. So 9VQs often with men that's a pattern of baldness. Actually, 9VQ I see as a pattern of baldness in men, just as an astrological trend. But so it's because their testosterone burns out. In bed, the 9VQs are actually known to be phenomenal. Sexual connection for 9VQs is one of their expertise. They are pretty much get what they want, pretty much control. Are pretty much, even when they give up control, that's them giving up control. I would say that if two 9VQs are in the bedroom together, I'm not sure if that works, actually. So you'll have to write me and tell me. But I do know that once you're in their lair, it's over. Anything goes. The boundaries have to be set ahead of time, and once they are, then it's kind of anything goes with the 9VQs. They're really willing to just go for the gusto when it comes to bed. So you really will have a good time. Make sure you think about yourself. What 9VQs add to any equation is incredible fire. So it's adding 9 to the equation. So it's adding a lot. It's adding a lot of impulsiveness, and it's adding a lot of fire. So it's an unpredictable 3 times 3 multiplier. So, you know, they say 3 is a magic number. Well, a 9VQ is 9. So it's 3 sets of 3. So whatever you get involved with the 9VQ, you know you're going to have a lot of crazy fire. Now, if you have 9 in the VQ algorithm in the master section, this is an interesting placement, because this means that you are very aggressive and your ego might need to become in check. So when you have 9 in that master, you must master ego. Humility is your mantra, to stay humble and to focus on acting for yourself before you try to act for others. The ones who have 9 in mastery tend to try to master others and dominate others in their dark side. And again, they need to master themselves. So whenever you have 9 there, that's the issue. When it comes to 9 in the proficiency number, first of all, that's a mastery of manifestation. So whenever you have 19, first of all, that would be the first type to get a 9. If you have a 19, that means that you have already decided on something and you should act. 19 is it's time to act. And 19 compounds to a 10, which is manifestation. So 19 is a very magical number. It means you're very magical and that you should act on who you are. And one of the hard things about 19s is that they give themselves up in love, and they need to be more selfish. So you need to be more self-centered in love, more self-focused in love, and really serve yourself, because you are a person that overly serves others when you're a 19. When you are a 29, well, now this is a grandmaster position. So whenever you are a 29, you're in a grandmaster position. Grandmaster means that you will become an 11, and then it becomes a 2, which means it's a passionate thing. 29 is an incredibly passionate vibration. And this is one where you absolutely have to hang on to your own pleasure in that love affair in order to keep from losing yourself in the pleasure. So you actually focus on yourself at the highest 29th degree, which is you hold that integrity 11 and you feel it at 2. So if you have 9 there, it's pretty cool. So overall, the 9s take it to the 9s. They always multiply by 9, and it always makes it pretty fiery. If you are watched over in GA Venus and we have the text messages and you're working with me, the 9VQs, basically I help you get your exercise out. Like I start to make you aware of your activities and make you aware of your 9s and help you to find the right time to 9VQ the situation to lasso in. You will most likely always make the first move, but it's like, when do you make the first move? How do you determine that? And where is the action? So the 9VQs need to find a place to understand where the action is, and that will keep them from having the wrong action or reaction when their opportunity to learn comes. So that's what I focus on with the 9VQs. All right, thank you for clicking. So